Noem! How we doing today, guys? What's going on?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's dark outside. It's the black of night, and we do this show.
Yes. Always fun. Honestly, the days are getting longer. I'm enjoying it. I'm sorry for anybody who's in the Northeast right now still dealing with the cold or snow. I won't be going back anytime soon.
Yeah, it's like 82 outside.
Yeah, it's perfect.
It's it's a little bright. It's kind of hot where it comes from the sun. It doesn't come from necessarily like the environment itself. It kind of beats down on you a little bit, but compared to what's coming, we'll take it. And welcome to the show. Anyone who caught us yesterday, I think we did a pretty good job.
I doubted ourselves at first, and I was like, I watched it back. I'm like, wait, I'm overthinking this. This is great. This was a great segment.
And that's what I told you, like starting out. The thing that's hard about media, like especially just getting started or trying to get initial motion, is you hear yourself talk and then you're like, oh, I don't feel like that was good. I feel like I expressed myself. I don't feel like I was able to get that idea across. And then you rewatch it, you did a great job.
Yeah.
So like that's a real like mental block you got to get through.
Here's how I would almost describe it. So it's like when you're on air, guys, it's like he's talking about, you catch all the little nuances, like the awkward airtime in between, the pauses, those types of things. But then the camera almost sucks all of that away. Sure. And then it doesn't feel like that to you guys on camera. So like things that feel awkward, like I was like, oh, am I being awkward around Alex? And it's like, like Alex was totally chill. He was just cool. So like those things don't actually come across on camera. So I'm very excited. I'm so glad that you guys had a chance. Anyone who's a new follower from that, we appreciate you guys.
Thank you for joining us.
A lot of support that we got. I saw a ton of positive comments after that show.
Yeah, it was really good. I think that people are happy with it and they want to see more. And I think we'll be doing more on the platform as well. For anyone just joining us that wants to know what our show's about, we're about finding truth. We're about providing value. We're about doing the deep dive on topics that people won't really touch and then coming out and giving you the information.
Yes.
And really what it is it's a nonpartisan environment. We're always trying to learn, and we don't care where the solution comes from as long as there's a solution offered.
And the perfect thing about InfoWars is they don't censor you. They don't tell you what you need to go on there and say. Right. You just go on, and we were just doing our thing, man.
That was the thing. And you were asking me, you were like, well, is like there's a certain thing that Alex will want. Like, how do we need to approach this? And I was like, look, he's going to play with us like we're little kids, basically. Yeah. And like we got off to a great start with him. We were able to carry that into the next hour. We even did a little mini deep dive.
Yes.
On the show.
The mini deep dive. That I felt great. I was like, this, bringing a little of the gray area touch. Yeah, right.
The gray area brigade.
Oh, and I think people love that because it's different, right? Like there's it adds another layer on top of the show itself. But I don't know. It looks like, some of the producers were happy afterwards. We might be working on some things in the mix, hopefully.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. It'll be cool to see what happens. Really, just the fundamental experience of getting up there and knowing that we can do a high quality show, anywhere. And really, it's easier when we have a giant, like military grade production studio. Yes. Right.
So, significantly easier than this EV Mux
but
thing.
There's a lot more nobility to the EV Mux thing as well. We come to you from the humble dining room in Austin, Texas, and we talk to you about real problems and real things. That being said, what do you think? Iran war has continued. The Middle East, the Levant is on fire. We got all our military bases. They took out that $1 billion satellite array. I think the total bill is up to $5 billion, and Trump says wars can be fought forever.
Oh, well, they can be fought forever as long as you can type a button into the computer and say that $1 billion exists here all of a sudden.
Yes, and this is why we need the robots, so the robots can just kill each other, after we're all dead, of course, too.
It's very interesting, and we'll go into this probably later, but I was just looking the YouTube video that we'll watch later. I didn't realize how many people paid Trump prior to his election, like the people who funded, like Elon was number 2.
Sure.
And then now you're kind of seeing all the things that Elon is getting after the fact. Like he has the AI
getting the new
contract, right?
Yeah.
To do the AI swarm, like what Grok is going to be in like the swarm of drones just going in and attacking people.
Dude, I love it. I love it. It ain't that fun and awesome. The government's putting, billions of dollars into AI. There's going to be the data centers everywhere. And the one company, Claude or Anthropic, that's like, hey, we don't want to have like kill drones.
Yeah, they're suing.
Yeah, they're like, well, you don't get any government contracts. I think they're at like they're the same like trade status that like a foreign like a Huawei or something is. Like no government can use them, or no U.S. government officials can use that equipment now because it's deemed a trade risk, I believe is the term.
You're talking about they can't use Claude in
Yeah,
anthropology.
They can't use.
Yeah,
use
they've got to
Anthropic.
find a new. They've got to find a new software.
And Sam Altman, he's like, count me in. Y'all need mass surveillance. Y'all need to make drones that'll execute people.
ChatGPT, right out of your
We'll do
service.
some deep research on that.
100%. Now the whole Iran stuff, it's just getting crazier and crazier every single day.
Sure.
It's like you said earlier before we went on air. Every like 10 to 15 minutes, there's just a new piece of new content. Something insane going on.
It's unbelievable. It literally every 20 minutes is like a new day has gone by. What it is, it's a missile war, right? So there's constant strikes from Israel on Iran. Tehran is burning from Iran onto U.S. military bases all around the Gulf. We've got a lot of really interesting stuff to get to there. Can we show the first thing? Can we go to the stock market? Because that's the talk, right? It's like, it's going to be 48 hours. And we're going to get it done. We're going to kill the Pope and leave, and it's all going to be good.
Mm-hmm.
We're seeing the actual reflections in the market. So we're entering into an age where this is all very serious. This isn't a Venezuela.
This is not
a Venezuela at all.
You are completely right about that. Oh, I'm sorry, Wes. I meant to have you skip over the first 3 videos. The one we're actually going to be starting on here is the Suleiman.
Our bad, brother.
Suleiman. It's stock market loses $1 trillion. That's the one that we're going to start from. Perfect. That's the
beautiful
one. Go ahead and throw that up for us.
Yeah, so this is what winning looks like. It's very important because you're like, I think winning is getting like a first place trophy or getting married or buying a house, winning at life or something. Actually, no. It's important when the Dow is over 50,000. When it's under 50,000, we also must be thankful.
Well, you have Trump derangement syndrome.
That's right.
The Dow is still it's still at all-time highs. You just can't see it there.
That's right. I'm blind. I'm blind to the Dow. May Bondi help me. Praise Bondi. May Bondi clear the soot from my eyes, or whatever the expression.
All hail Bondi.
Yeah.
She's gonna get the Noem treatment pretty soon.
Now we're gonna talk about that in the mini deep dive portion we've got. I just wanted to show this to people because people are like, it's all right. It's just a targeted military strike. Boy, you never read 1973 War Powers Act. President's got the ability to declare war. And it's like, well, so you're admitting it's a war? No, it's not a war.
It's a military insurgency.
It's a strike. And now you talk about insurgencies, and maybe we'll get into it a little bit later. I covered this on my last stream last night. We are backing the Kurds.
Yes, the thousands of Kurds that's going to get squashed real quick, though.
Oh, the 100%. But we're trying. We're trying to do stuff, and it makes sense if you're trying to build up a force at Kuwait and then also in the area that would be Kurdistan theoretically. You got to get a fork. So they're trying to get stuff done.
They're just trying to apply pressure to the regime itself and make the people rebel. Can you guys do me a favor? Anybody who is watching, please go ahead and repost the stream, especially if you're on X. That's our biggest platform there.
Really helps
the show a lot. We appreciate anything that you guys can do to actually repost, get the word out. Commenting also helps a lot too, because the algorithm looks at it and is like, hey, people are actually engaging, and we read the comments and we love you guys too.
Yeah, so this show is basically a living document. A lot of our best deep dive suggestions have come from viewers and listeners.
100%.
So if you want to contribute, you want to throw something in the arena or in the ring, just feel free to comment on X or on YouTube or on Rumble. But let's go back to the Google Doc really quick.
Yeah,
if you would. Let's go to Tel Aviv on fire. And we're not going to show too much footage because a lot of the footage is, AI and stuff like that. It's real smoke screen, fog of war stuff. It's really never been experienced before just because how easy it is to make fake things. This is real. Anything Suleiman posts, I trust, basically.
That's going to be,
Tel Aviv on fire. And then we've got
New Groper. I am sorry. I did not happen to look at that thing that you sent me. I'm a slacker. I've had so much going on. I was honestly, when you sent it to me last night, I was gassed. So I will check it out tomorrow. You have my word. I think let me just see real quick. I think he's saying
Tim,
it was
you need to have a ton of energy all the time. You never know when you have to fight in a foreign conflict.
100%. I'm first one on the line.
That's right.
Okay. You got that up? Go ahead and pull that up.
Yes, sir, Mr. Shapiro.
I got no audio. Is there no audio to this?
I think there's audio on it, but it's we don't necessarily need it for this one.
It might be doing that same thing,
is it the
Wes,
same issue?
where you guys were trying to figure out last time. Let me see if this has audio to it. No, the video just doesn't have audio.
Okay.
We're good.
All right. So we look at that. That's happy fun time for everybody involved. There, of course, it's not happy fun time at all. It's very, very disturbing. And this is happening in every single nation in the Middle East right now. Of course, Israel started this war in concert with America. They said they had to do it because Iran was going to hit them first. I don't personally believe that, but you see the end result. Ultimately, it's not the government people that are, scramming and scurrying and screeching on the street. They're all in bunkers. They're all taken care of. They've all got a master plan. It is ultimately the citizens and the common person, ultimately the women and children that always suffer as a consequence of war.
Yes, they will suffer as a result. And also, there was a CIA agent. You ever see that CIA agent that's like always out there? He's got the glasses and the gray hair. I forget his
Talking
name.
about John Kiriakou?
Yeah, Kiriakou.
Of course.
He basically said this. He was like, the one agency that does not care very much so about collateral is Israel. They're like, if they've got to go after one guy and there's like 2,000 people in that building, they will level that out just to get that one guy.
And you really saw that during the 12-day war, right? Because like what's going on right now, like this is like a much bigger conflict than the 12-day war. The 12-day war was more targeted at the end of the day. But I mean, they just blow up an apartment block. They're like, well, like we know the general's in there and we're going to get rid of him. There's 200 people. Like we don't mind.
Here's where the things might get out of hand here. So if you look at the Strait of Hormuz, they're like basically closing it down.
Do they blow up a new oil tanker? There's like multiple that have been blown up.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I haven't seen the blown up tankers, but okay. If it goes on for longer than I think they said like 8 days or so, or even 2 weeks, it's going to be catastrophic for the rest of the world, for one, because again, you're already kind of, you guys probably are seeing your gas prices go up. I imagine
it's already gone up.
What is your gas? It used to be, what was it before the war?
It went up like 40 or 50 cents. I think I pumped the medium. That's what the Tacoma takes. So it went from like 2.8 to like 3.5. And then now it's like 3.7. It was 3.7 this morning. So it's going to go back up there and we're going to see COVID-esque numbers. I think the price of oil, I think it's like $85 a barrel right now. If that goes to 100 or God forbid 120 or 150, we're all fucked.
And it's not just the gas, guys. Everything that requires transportation requires fuel. Those costs get passed down to you on a trickle-down effect. So the amount of effort that it takes for whatever resource to reach America in its shipping route, as well as all of the different layers that are stacking on each other as far as the energy cost, those get passed down as well. And we've seen anytime there's a crisis, remember we did the Cal-Maine egg situation where the bird flu happened? The companies use a crisis as a justification to increase prices on products at home.
Sure.
And it's a smokescreen. So we got to be wary about this. There's more things that are behind the scenes here.
Absolutely. Do we want to go ahead and roll your video?
Sure, we can. I mean, unless you got more stuff,
I do have more stuff prepared. If we want to go down the list, Wes, just really quick, because these are posts.
Yeah, let's do that.
It's either they're not overly complicated, they're not videos. Let's do the Iran ex-India military exercise. U.S. sinks Iranian ship. Like there's really bad stuff going on right now. We sunk an Iranian ship that was engaged in a peaceful military exercise with India. I'm not sure when this happened. I think it was more towards the beginning of the conflict. We let them drown. I think it was the Sri Lankan military that had to come save the people from the boat.
That's insane.
And that's illegal. That's a war crime.
All right, war crimes don't even exist anymore at this point. The UN is a nothing burger. The general councils and NATO that go and they're like, we condemn you for doing this particular action. Nothing burgers.
But let me make a point here. So what I want to express to people is like we are in a time now that is reminding me of the time of World War I and World War II, where these gross overreaches of nationalistic power are going to reflect in further international law being developed after there's some sort of resolution to all of this. Because of things like this, because of the bombing campaigns, because of the sinking of the ships and then not helping the survivors. I mean, that's what the Germans did to us. That's what the Germans and Japanese did. The Japanese soldiers would sink a ship, and then they would gun the people down. That's why we have those laws.
Yeah, and that was one of the reasons why the United States got involved in the European conflict.
That's
because
right.
German U-boats were sinking American
and
ships.
they weren't helping the people.
Yes.
So, like, this is very key to understand. So, we're in a period right now of permanent global change. I want to go ahead and show this now if we got it. Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and read it. We click on it.
Yeah.
I'm like the mole man. Actually, I'm not. My eyesight's really good.
No, your eyesight's great, dude.
Small screen. Everyone needs to know the extent of what the U.S. did. An unarmed Iranian ship invited to a joint Indian naval exercise paraded its sailors before the president alongside other participants, including the U.S. At the last minute, the U.S. withdrew from the exercise and torpedoed the Iranian vessel, then reportedly refused to rescue the survivors, leaving the Sri Lankan Navy to recover the bodies from the water.
Go ahead and play that video. Let's see it. So this is the...
That's nice. Just another example of what's going on. That's blatantly illegal. But like Tim says, it doesn't matter and nobody cares. Nobody cares about that. Ain't that something? And like we just look at it, it's like, oh, well, we see a ship on the screen. They blew up a ship with a torpedo and then let the people drown. And I think there were deaths, by the way.
I'm sure there were. I'm sure there were.
Yeah. Wow. We go back to the doc.
Yeah. Maureen says, oh, this is very interesting here. I was just reading this. Sorry. She says, I work at the men's accessory retailer, and we are currently updating retails on all of our products. Wow. It's already hitting.
That's crazy.
Isn't that crazy? You know, this is one of my sticking points for why I wanted Trump over Biden, because Biden made my inflation go up to 9%. And I was like, I cannot accept this anymore. Everything is dramatically more expensive. When I walk into Walmart, the thing that used to cost me $25 cost me $50. We cannot have this anymore.
Sure.
But now, you know, we've got different ways to get you that 9%, don't we?
You got to pay into the system.
In a world.
Let's watch the Iran war throwback. It could be 6 days, 6 weeks. Of course, this is Donald Rumsfeld, former Secretary of Defense for, you know, my name's George W. Bush, and I'm a good man. Fool me once, I can't get fooled again. Well, we'll go ahead and play this because here's the thing. It's just everything we're seeing now, especially with like the neocon political attitude. It's all the stuff that I thought was dead in the Republican Party, but it's literally just waiting there like latent, like the Venom symbiote waiting to just take over the thing at any moment. And then it's the Black Spider-Man costume. Like that's what this is.
That's
basically.
a good analogy.
Well, watch it. This has been going on for a long time. And look, they always tell you it's going to be over quickly. This wasn't over for years and years and years. 9 trillion Iraq and Afghanistan.
It is not knowable if force will be used, but if it is to be used, it is not knowable how long that conflict would last. It could last, 6 days, 6 weeks. I doubt 6 months. It is not knowable if force.
Okay, so it's not knowable if force will be used or not. There may be casualties, but that often happens at war. Doesn't that sound like our president now? It ain't that interesting? Ain't that something? And hey, it could be 6 days, 6 weeks. Hey, I thought it was gonna be 48 hours. Trump, Hegseth or Rubio, they say 4 weeks, but now we got to wait until September.
Okay, sorry. This is
breaking news
as of 3 hours ago, but the U.S. House has overwhelmingly voted to officially declare Iran as the largest state sponsor of terrorism, 372 to 53, and what does that even mean?
Well, I think that's them trying to get around declaring war. So, like, it's like, we're fighting terrorism. This part of global war on terror, brother. We don't need to declare no war.
No, keep going. I'm gonna find a quick article. I'm gonna see if, and then I'll send it to US if I find anything.
This is just more of the cover.
It's just more stuff, man.
It's more of the cover up, dude. Like this is their justification for the conflict.
I would have given all of my eggs to say that the Congress would be against this. We were against Venezuela. Everyone was complaining about it then.
Sure. Well,
what's different now?
Well, I mean, they take AIPAC money. I think that's what's different. And there's a very powerful lobby that supports this war. And like, that's not a controversial thing to say. Literally, they support this conflict. There's literally, it's like you said, like there's a clip every 5 seconds. There's like this woman who runs like one of the largest Christian universities in the country. And she's like, it is an opportunity now to be blessed by blessing Israel and by fighting this holy war. And you're just like, what are you talking about? There is no holy war. When people die, it's not good, period. God doesn't like that. Ooh. It's just like, it's this theology, man. It's real. It's really heavy.
This is insane. Okay. So I'm going to send this over to you. I just want to quickly see if we can get this article read.
Yeah, just put it in the document.
That is insane.
We'll read
if this is true, if this is true, it is true because
fool me once, can't get fooled again.
Wes, I'm gonna put it at the very top here. Sorry.
No, they told me Georgia said Osama bin Laden.
New York Times article, and we'll go ahead and read that.
Now, George Bush is actually the voice is very similar to Biden.
Okay, so we can still read it while he's getting it pulled up, but let's just start here at the top.
Sure, I'll go ahead and do it. House turns back bid to restrict Trump's war powers in Iran. A handful of Democrats join Republicans to defeat an effort to force President Trump to go to Congress for approval to continue using force against Iran, while 2 GOP lawmakers backed it. They got a photo of Massey there, articles by a man named Robin Jimson.
I gave him a bad article.
Are you sure?
Yeah, because it's basically showing, but I can share my screen here. Just give me 1 second here, guys.
What's wrong with it?
He's got to sign into New York Times want their money.
Oh, did we pay for it?
No, we don't.
I guess we just got in.
Yeah, we just got in. Okay, I'm gonna add this.
You're gonna give us $1.25 to read our stupid post, because we're the paper of record.
Actually, let's just read it out loud because this is gonna cause more mayhem and changing the scenes.
All right, we'll read it out loud. This is breaking news.
Okay.
The House voted down an effort on Thursday to halt the war against Iran and to force President Trump to go to Congress for authorization, as a small block of Democrats joined nearly all Republicans in delivering an early sign of support for the war in the Middle East. Everyone knows it's a war. Like, I'm not trying to interrupt the article. I'm going to keep reading the article, but literally, it's targeted strike, 1973 War Powers Act. It's literally how the president, Secretary of Defense, Secretary of State, everyone calls it a freaking war, man.
Yes.
People write the articles about it, do too.
War. No, I meant strategic strike. My bad.
The stock market. Excuse me. Okay. The vote was 219 to 212 to block consideration of a bipartisan resolution that would end offensive military operations in Iran that had not been approved by Congress. The vote fell almost entirely along party lines, but it also highlighted splinters in both parties. 4 Democrats crossed party lines to oppose the resolution, while 2 Republicans broke from their party to support it, citing concerns of executive overreach and a disregard for the legislative branch. The Constitution is clear. Our Constitution provides Congress initiatory powers of war. Representative Thomas Massey, Republican of Kentucky, and the lead speaker of the resolution said during debate on the House floor, directly challenging members of his own party. Wow. Mr. Massey, who co-sponsored the measure of Representative Ro Khanna, I really like them together, Democrat of California, noted that the War Powers Resolution Act of 1973 allows the president to go around Congress and exercise unilateral authority. Maybe this is unconstitutional, huh? Maybe you ever thought about that? To use force only if there has been a declaration of war, specific statutory authorization, or a national emergency created by an attack on the United States.
Okay, so pause there for a second.
Sure.
So this is what Massey is saying in that, right?
Yes.
Okay, so
that's what
Massey does not care what party he belongs to right now. Well, I got to give that guy some respect.
Well, he's smart. He sees which way the wind is blowing. Here's the thing. I rip on Tim Pool a lot. Okay, and it's a personal thing. I don't think he should wear the beanie. I think he should just bald max and take it off. But he knows, he understands, and he's been highly critical, incredibly critical, because he's like, well, I'm not going to have a career. I'm not going to have a career.
We know the Democrats are going to get into power in the midterms, and then bet your bottom dollar, like, the next president's probably like a Gavin Newsom or something.
I think it's incredibly likely. I'll never vote for Gavin Newsom because I do not trust that guy. I do not trust him at all. Literally American psycho. But at the end of the day, you're creating an environment where are people going to support JD Vance and Rubio, who basically tell them that, like, hey, yeah, we lied to you, but we're at war and it's good for the country?
No, and people are just going to associate Rubio and JD with Trump, just a Trump 2.0.
I've never seen such a crazy riches to rags story.
Then who?
Just this whole thing. Like, why would you do this? Why would you kill the Muslim Pope and start, another at least 6-month long war?
No, it's long. It's going to be longer.
Dude, we're going to be there forever.
There's no way.
I'm glad that we have the same opinion. Like,
yeah.
Like, what are you gonna do? So let's think about this for a second.
Yeah.
So let's say like the most successful thing ever. Let's say in 2 weeks we have total like air superiority. Oh, they said they already have it. They don't have it. We have total air superiority. We've blown up most of their missile launchers. We're still hitting them some, but at that point we've used most of our bombs. What do? They're not going to give up. We're going to launch a ground invasion. We kind of have to.
We cannot, dude. Have you seen? I'm about to pull up a picture of Iran's geography. I'm gonna
do the topography.
Yes.
Yeah. Try topography. That'll be banger. Because it's a fortress. It's like you designed a country to be as defensible as possible. Besides ours, of course, which is the most defensible.
Actually, why am I doing this? Wes, could you help out with this real quick? Just go to Google and just search topography of Iran. And then we're gonna show you. And actually, this is a good talking point. I think there's a photo there that's probably by Iron Bank. That's a good photo. It kind of gives you like a green kind of scene, or you can do the red. Either one. Actually, either one.
Really quick, Straight Smoke.
Cool.
We love you, Straight Smoke. You said Democrats aren't going to win in the midterms. They are.
There's no shot that they don't.
Objectively, they are. And like you don't have to support that. You don't have to be happy about that. But like that's Trump pissed in the face of everyone.
And here's the thing: you got to think about the swing states specifically.
Sure,
swing states are pretty big, and a lot of those states were up in the air.
Dude, I'm telling you that like Beto O'Rourke got very close to beating Ted Cruz. Very close, extremely close. And what he was likable white guy. Okay, that works on Texas people. And now they got that Tallarico kid.
Mm-hmm.
It's over. They're gonna turn Texas blue.
Yeah. Okay, so he's got a map up here, right?
Like, I'm not voting for him. I ain't voting for Ted Cruz.
So guys, the red region, and can you point to that red region there, Wes, on your with your cursor? That's the area you need to pay attention to. So Iran actually has a ton of missile systems that are lying in those regions. Okay. They've got all types of weapons that they've been planning for this for 20 years, by the way. So United States in Israel, there's
the time of Saddam.
Yeah. There's no way that you can locate all of the missile systems that are hidden in these mountains. And here's the other thing that you need to pay attention. Maybe scroll down a little bit on that so we can kind of see Saudi Arabia. Okay. Sure. So
you got Saudi Arabia and then you got Iraq right up there by the end of that coast.
So one of the things that I've been looking into and that I've been trying to understand is, okay, what is like the worst possible scenario that each side could do to each other?
Sure.
Okay. So one thing you need to know about Saudi Arabia is Saudi Arabia does not have any like real food sources, or I'm not even talking about just Saudi Arabia. The Gulf countries in general don't really have a lot of natural food sources because it's a desert, and they don't have a lot of natural water. So they rely on two things. One, for the water, desalinization, right? So desalinization plants are basically, they take the salt water out of the ocean and they basically provide clean water for the people.
Sure.
Do you know if Iran decides to just start launching drones and destroying those salinization plants, they're cooked.
Well, the thing is, like, do you remember the video of Netanyahu like 4 or 5 months ago where he was like holding a glass of water and he's like mocking them? He's like, if you want our help, if you want to get the clean water, then we can send Israeli engineers to help you out. So like we know about the water crisis, and I see Ranger in there.
He wants all the smoke tonight.
Well, no, Straight Smoke wants all the smoke tonight. You don't know military recon. No, it's just okay.
Stay in your lane.
All right.
Stay in your lane.
Stay in your lane. Yeah, it's just like all right. Everyone's a genius. Everyone's an expert. Everyone's an astronaut that was a rodeo master that's been to the moon 5 times. We understand. We get it. Everyone's a 180 IQ Bill Gates.
Well, let me finish my thought here real quick.
Sure,
so the Strait of Hormuz that you see right there.
Sure.
Technically, a good swimmer can actually swim across that, which is going to give you context to how small it is. I think it's like 33 kilometers or something like that. It's not that far, right? All they need to do is block off that, which they're already currently doing, and they also choke the food supplies. I think it's between 60 to 80% of their food flows through that pass by itself.
Sure.
So again, that is a very big thing that they can do to these Gulf countries to start strangling them in terms of like water. And that's if they want to do that. But Iran is also, they're in the same boat when it comes to their water. They don't have access to water in the same capacity. So like this could get out of hand very quickly if people decide that they just start wanting to squeeze the governments themselves to bend the knee. And that is how you would do. You would go after the infrastructure.
Yeah, and Ranger says Iran cannot last 90 days once their water is cut off. We are playing nice. I'd be interested in hearing more about what the process is of actually taking that out or taking that away from them. We'll see how the conflict lasts. You know, maybe Trump does have an ace up his sleeve. Maybe he does we know they're going to run out of water. They're not going to have anything to drink. We're going to win. But
yeah, but that is a sick, twisted way. If you go after the water, it's just all out war. Well, it's all out war. I mean, a humanitarian crisis, but you've seen in today's age,
we don't care about
no one cares about it.
Humanitarian crisis. You mean humanitarian opportunity to fuck people up?
Yeah, I mean, if you just have to look at Gaza, there's plenty of humanitarian issues that went on there, and no one's getting
they use food and water
destroyed for that.
Yeah, but we'll go ahead and
cut back to us real quick.
Come back to us. Will you go to the document? Let's go to suspicious polymarket better wins big on war. Because here's the thing. This is what I think about. How are these prediction markets legal? How can you
polymarket?
Well, just polymarket, call sheet, all of it. How are you able to bet on literal futures? Imagine like you're in the government, and you have Cousin Vinny, and you're in the Pentagon. You know exactly when these things are going to happen. You just call Cousin Vinny. Cousin Vinny puts a cool $125K down, and then makes $800,000.
That's the best part. You have no idea to trace it to somebody.
Exactly. That's why, like, I know that we're in an age of technology now, and there's a bunch of passwords and KYC verification and all that stuff. And we're like, oh, a lot of things are heavily regulated. We are still in the Wild West, and the Trump administration is maintaining that Wild West online for the gambling, for the sports betting, all of it the same.
Yeah. Well, what they should do is members of Congress should not be allowed to do two things.
Should not be allowed to own stock.
They should not be allowed to be playing the stock market.
No.
And two, they should not be allowed to be doing any, and I think that should extend to their families too.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm going to be honest, because there's no way you can catch the brother-in-law.
Well, there needs to be an actual reverence for the position of being a public servant. Like, yes, it is a noble thing to do. I'm here to serve my constituents. I'm here to make the country better. Instead of, I am here to be important, to wear a suit, and to make friends with lobbyists and bet on the stock market.
Yes, but Kalshi is and Polymarket's new thing, because it's not gambling, Rex. It's trading.
Wild. Wild. And the way
somebody was genius and figured this out a couple of years ago, and they were like, we could make so much money.
It is smart, because if you have the people make the lines, then it's not, if no one's setting it, then it's not betting.
Yeah, and the laws haven't caught up, and it's very hard to they call it futures, and it's like, are you going to now prevent people from trading futures, because that's a legitimate way of trading?
All these
you see,
we got futures, we got targeted strikes, we got 4 weeks for the war, but it's not a war. Like, it's just all.
You know what, Rex? We need to quit doing this.
Yes,
we need to go run for office.
That's right.
And 300 times X our net worth by just being in Congress.
Yeah,
I think that's the play.
It's like you go to Build-A-Bear or something as a kid. You're like, oh, like, I'm a congressman. I go into Washington D.C. Oh, yeah, that lobbyist looks cool. Maybe that'll be my lobbyist. Maybe that'll be the guy. Oh, no, she's kind of cool too. Oh, she can give me a boat. Maybe I want that one.
I'll stuff my bear with that.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll dress them with some economic policy. Put it on. I like that coat. Right. Yeah. Let's go ahead. Do you have that Polymarket?
Yeah, we'll throw that
suspicious
up.
Polymarket better wins big on war.
Actually, I can read it from here. Breaking a suspected military insider. What we click on it actually. Won $90K correctly predicting 9 separate military events. This guy is now betting big on U.S. forces entering Iran. He will win nearly $100K if he is correct.
Which one did you click on?
It's above. It's the above that text right there. There it is. So let's see what he bet on. So he bet on Khamenei out as supreme leader of Iran by February 28. He bought Israel strikes Iran by February 28.
Wow.
He bought
wait. What the? That is too coincidence. What the right on the money.
He's got U.S. strikes Iraq. I don't know when we did that. By February 28, I guess I was part of it. U.S. military action against Iran by Saturday. Bet on that. U.S. forces in Venezuela by January. See, bet big on that. Will Iran close the Strait of Hormuz by March 31st? Damn. These are smart plays.
That boy making money.
Yeah, these are good plays.
Hey,
right
we're
here.
in the wrong line of business. I'm telling you,
Dude,
man.
these are good picks, dude. My roommate wants to do a pick show. Like, I won't engage.
When did Maduro get out?
Oh,
he got out way before the 31st. I mean, he won on all of these.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, the U.S. striker. Look when he's betting on these though. It's crazy. It's wild. Oh,
will the U.S. next strike in Iran on February 28th? Yeah.
And see, he's bought. He got it at 29 cents on the dollar. Will U.S. forces enter Iran by March 31st?
And what's the volume that he's trading? Okay, so he's trading in several thousands. Okay. Wow. The first one is crazy. 18K one. Like, this is too much. Like, how do you even know that the supreme leader is going to freaking die on that date?
He's just smart.
Yeah. Very suspicious. Very suspicious. Let's see. What else? Oh, the Iran debt clock. Let's look at that. This
is a good one because, hey, you got it. We're all paying for it. We might as well know how much money we paying. So $5.6 billion, isn't that nice? It's the Pentagon's estimate.
You get a Tomahawk missile, and you get a Tomahawk missile.
And then we're out. We don't have any more to give.
Probably $6 billion. I bet somebody asked $6 billion now. This is a video.
It's an estimate.
This is an estimate, but
yeah.
I mean, dude, there's so much happening, and Iran is also in a blackout, so you can't really tell exactly what's going on or what's being taken out. Go ahead and play that. Wow.
Look how quickly it goes up too. That's your money at work. And then people be like, you're not in the military. You're not allowed to criticize. It's like, well, we pay for it, don't we?
I pay a lot in taxes, guys.
Isn't the government supposed to serve the citizens? And if the military has to listen to the government and the government has to listen to us, don't we get a say?
Hey, we burned the Boston Harbor for like 2% taxes.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm paying like 30-something% as a single man with no dependents.
We're all
it's
tax
insane.
Slaves, dude.
Tax slaves.
It's totally unfair. Totally unfair. And here's the thing: like they're like, well, that amount of money is small, and it wouldn't actually make your life better. So we have to spend it at war. But then you're like, oh, maybe some people can have some food, and they're like, shut up, scum! You want people to be communists? You damn liberal. And I was like, okay, all right. Well, like, where does that come from? That almost seems like a psychological warfare operation to me.
Yeah. It definitely is at this point. Let's go into the video, that YouTube video, because this guy gives some really good theories. Now, of course, they're theories. They're not proven, but there's enough evidence to kind of bring the points together. And this guy does a ton of research. He's well-versed. He's been very accurate about a lot of the things that have happened. And then we can cover some of these other things. Let's go ahead and play that one, Wes. From the beginning. Sorry.
Here's where it gets crazier.
Actually,
just hours after the strikes, Trump signed an executive order.
Pause it. Go to like 1 minute. I actually have the timestamp here.
You wrote it down.
Yes, 1 minute and 45 seconds. Okay. Cool. That's good enough.
Theory has to do with something called the control grid and power over the flow of money. So with that said, let me explain who this benefits, how this affects investors, and what the heck is happening. Let's get into it. Hi, my name is Andre Jick. Hope you're doing well. Come for the finance and stay for the geopolitical rabbit holes that keep me up at night. So let's talk about why this is happening beyond the official narrative that we're told about. There are 4 major theories that explain it. There's 4 interest groups, all with credible evidence. And let me just start with the elephant in the room, which is Israel. Okay, so why do people think Israel forced the US to go to war? Evidence number 1 is a video of Marco Rubio explaining why this happened.
We knew that there was going to be an Israeli action. We knew that that would precipitate an attack against American forces. And we knew that if we didn't preemptively go after them before they launched those attacks, we would suffer higher casualties and perhaps even higher those killed.
So Marco told Congress, we knew there was going to be an Israeli action. So we struck preemptively. He's saying Israel was going to do this no matter what. And once Israel hit Iran, Iran was going to retaliate against the US by attacking U.S. military bases. And because Israel made this inevitable choice, the U.S. was forced into it as a preemptive action. Now, another piece of evidence is an incredible interview with a former CIA officer, John Kiriakou. I'll leave a link down below to the podcast, but John claims that Israel essentially gave the U.S. an ultimatum. His words: Israel said to the U.S., bomb Iran's nuclear facilities or we will use our own weapons to do it.
The reason, though, I'm told, that Donald Trump decided to bomb Iran was that the Israelis said for the first time, if you don't bomb Iran to take out these deep bunkers, we're going to use nuclear weapons. And they had never threatened that before. And so
Actually, sorry, I cut it off too early. Keep going.
So Trump said bombing Iran might actually save us from the start of World War III if it keeps the Israelis from using nuclear weapons.
That's the whole reason behind Operation Midnight Hammer, the initial strikes against.
Does that sound like we're in control of the situation?
No.
It doesn't sound like we're in the control of the situation at all.
Now let's add the caveat. These are theories, but there's very strong theories. We're not trying to.
Well, here's the thing. I've played the clip of Jonathan Pollard on the show many times. He's a guy that spent or was supposed to spend 30 years in prison for treason, giving United States intelligence secrets to Israel. He gets pardoned or commuted by Trump. He flies over and literally kisses the ground at Netanyahu's feet. And he gave an interview after, and he says, look, in the Yom Kippur War, I believe it was 1973, we were losing really bad. We were not getting the arms shipments that we needed from the West. They had an arms embargo on us for whatever the reason was. We parked a F-14 Tomcat. I believe that's what he said. I don't know military hardware. I'm sure I just butchered the plane or whatever it's called. We parked it on the tarmac, and we told them to use their eye in the sky to look at under the wing and add some unconventional weapons under the wing. And what do you think those unconventional weapons were? And that's just admitted at this point. You can say, hey, it makes sense for their national interest to behave in such a way. And ultimately,
I mean, they're sworn enemies at this point. So they're going to act in whatever way they think they need to in order to protect themselves. But I think there's a little more
pretty wild. But the thing is just like we want to act like we're the ones running this. We had to hop in because if we didn't, we knew it would be worse.
Yeah, I think you let the dog off the leash a little too hard, and they start going wild.
Sure, and I think that's the thing is like if there's going to be this U.S.-Israel relationship, which I don't agree with, and I don't think it should exist. But if theoretically, if it is to exist, then there's supposed to be the tail, not the tail wagging the dog. And we see the opposite of that over and over again.
Let's keep going with the video.
Iran, which was to prevent World War III or an all-out nuclear war from starting. Right? Now, Israel has never officially acknowledged having nuclear weapons, but a lot of experts believe they do, even though they've never said it. So if John Kiriakou's source is accurate, Israel threatened to use weapons it has never admitted to having, which forced the United States into a war to prevent a potentially much bigger one involving nuclear weapons from starting. That's a huge claim. It hasn't been independently verified, but it does have a lot of credible evidence. Now, even if we discount him and we don't believe him, the third piece of evidence comes from the source, from Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, who has been pushing for an attack and a regime change in Iran since the mid-1990s.
The deadline for attaining this goal is getting extremely close. And Iran, by the way, is also outpacing Iraq.
Okay, we can probably skip a little over this.
We played this on the show.
Yeah.
We played this on the show, and we don't need to play the whole compilation over and over again. It's so crazy. They've been saying it for 36 years. Netanyahu's been coming to Congress for basically 40 years, like twice the time period that I've been alive, and this is the narrative.
Yeah. No, Wes, just go ahead and tap the forward button and just kind of skip over this part of the video. Basically, that video just shows that video is just Netanyahu over the years, just basically saying Iran is almost having nuclear weapons. We got to go in there and kill them. And he's been saying that since 1995. If you guys want to see that actual clip, you can find it, or you can go watch the segment from yesterday.
Here's the thing. You always find these videos, and I get annoyed sometimes at the pop-up report history channels. You find whoever that bald guy was with the beard was really good too.
Oh, that's Warfronts.
Yeah, these video breakdowns are very good. And here's the thing. We should... If you're interested in watching more of these breakdowns, and just go find what we were watching on the stream, watch it in your own time. And that's how you become more informed.
There's a ton of guys that I watch on YouTube. I do a lot of research.
You should put out a post, and I'll retweet it for some of these because they're really high quality.
Yeah, they are very high quality.
Good production
Warfronts
value.
does if you guys don't know who Warfronts is, Warfronts does a very good breakdown almost every day and kind of gives better context than what's just happening in the news. And he just talks about everything war, especially with this Iran. He's giving like the most up-to-date stuff. So if you guys want to watch him, go ahead and watch.
And thank you for all the military people that are clarifying what the plane actually was. So thank you very much for that.
Yeah, guys, go ahead and repost the stream if you can. If you're on X, I know there's a lot of people on YouTube.
We appreciate it.
Totally fine, but we appreciate anything that you guys do in order to get the stream out because the algorithm does like when you guys.
We're suppressed. We're damaged. We need you to help us boost the transmission and get the signal out there.
So we appreciate you guys getting the stream out there.
We do,
especially if you're on X. Okay, go back to that video.
No, we'll keep watching it.
So if you've been paying attention at all, this has been the project for 30 years. This was the goal, and it happened. So that's power player number one. Israel wanted Iran's regime gone, and they got it with American firepower, American service members, and American money. And in the grand context of power, who does this benefit? It benefits the military-industrial complex, which some people call the neocons. Right, that's power player number one. The second theory is even more interesting. But before we continue, this video is brought to you by Tello Mobile. If you've been paying $50, $60, or $80 a month for your phone plan, you should hear this.
Skip this.
No free ads. Go to goprimalcore.com. You go get ashwagandha.
You ain't getting nothing from this guy.
Go get Elemental Drive at goprimalcore.com.
I think we're also monetized on YouTube, so I don't know if there's a super chat on there. I think there might be. I don't know.
We may have to set up, but it's the growth of the show is really cool.
It is. We really appreciate everybody who's coming in here. We might have some new viewers from yesterday being live on the Alex Jones show. So
for sure, welcome to the show, guys. We appreciate having all of you guys here. We do a show Thursday and Sunday. I'm live every day, but that's kind of just a daily driver marquee show Thursday and Sunday. Really Sunday.
Yeah,
Sunday is badass.
It is a show. I just don't like freaking ads, man. Did you get past them?
Man's got it.
Who cares about Tello.com? Primal Core is the thing you guys want.
That's true.
Who cares about Tello Core?
Yeah, maybe if we get Pam Bondi on the Elemental Drive, maybe she'll stop freaking out. Maybe she
needs some she needs some ashwagandha. That's the calming
spike.
One.
She suffered a lethal cortisol spike when
get
she
her
was
some ultimate ashwagandha. All right, good.
Talk about the second theory, which says the reason why all of this is happening has all to do with China. Because the number one goal of the United States right now is to destabilize the rise of China's economy. How do we know this? We know this because this was documented in the Monroe Doctrine, like the Monroe Doctrine, but Donald Trump's version.
I am the chosen one.
The way to disrupt China's economy and get leverage is, for example, cutting China off the cheap oil they were getting from Venezuela, and the cheap silver they were getting from Latin America, and now the cheap oil they were getting from Iran. This is where something called the Strait of Hormuz comes in. There's this body of water between Iran and the Arabian Peninsula called the Strait of Hormuz. It's very narrow, but about a quarter of the world's supply of oil passes through this tiny little point. And as of right now, it's shut down. Traffic has dropped 70%. There's over 150 ships just sitting there waiting. And insurance companies have suspended their coverage, which is basically a financial kill switch. Because if you can't get insurance, they can't ship their oil to places like China. So as a result, oil has gone up in price. And analysts are saying if this close lasts more than a couple weeks, we could see $100 or higher for a barrel of oil.
There, pause it.
Gas prices.
And that's why we did the Venezuela thing. We got to have that heavy oil. We had to have it.
And we increased our oil production here in the United States significantly.
And they're now scrambling to get contracts in to send oil companies into Venezuela to start production right now.
And this is going to hit us, guys. I mean, they're preemptively adjusting prices before it actually hits the market. And these oil companies don't suffer.
On the American people.
By the way, the oil companies don't suffer from this. They actually make money. It's better for them. the higher the oil price, the better it is. Even Saudi Arabia likes this.
Sure. And you think about the market, it makes total sense because you got these sellers that basically they got to coexist with each other. They can't either like price gouge or raise the prices too extreme or because another person will undercut them. So there's kind of this tenuous agreement in the global market. And then you have a black swan event happen like this. And they're like, well, we don't have to play by the rules.
No. You're going to see the Gulf countries, their oil revenues are going to go through the roof. They're going to be like, oh, we don't know what happened. You
get to buy more tigers, basically.
Right. And then, it's weird because the OPEC companies didn't like when the United States started drilling more because we started to stabilize the market a little bit. But I know for a fact, maybe I don't know this for a fact. We went in and attacked Venezuela, not just even for the reasons that he talked about, but also to keep ourselves hedged for the fact that we knew these things were going to come down the line.
That's readily apparent. And here's the thing. It's like, Trump makes these spontaneous decisions because he's so crazy. Isn't that a kooky guy? And it's like, well, maybe he does crash out from time to time and initiate things a little bit quicker. But
Was it?
Oh, we got a super chat.
Super chat.
Oh, and I don't. It's just super sticker. It's a little happy green guy jumping around. Thank you for sending that.
Appreciate
Hendrick.
you, man.
Thank you, Hendrick. Really appreciate that, sir. Thank you for the 20.
Thank you for the 20. We appreciate that.
Appreciate
Okay, YouTube super chat is working. Wow.
That helps the show.
That helps
us
the
pay
show.
for software, electricity, equipment, helping the great switchers eventually get compensated once we really get the ball rolling.
Yes.
Everything you guys do. Here's the thing. Like, we are literally sitting here in my dining room that we've turned into a studio. We've done a lot of powerful, great things out of here. We just want more people to get awareness of the show. So super chatting is great and phenomenal. And shout out to you, Hendrick, for doing that. Really just reposting the stream is an easy
reposting the stream
step.
is super first step. Also, if you do want to super chat and you're on any of the other platforms and you don't feel like doing Rumble or YouTube, you can go to streamlabs.com/gray area talks. You can get your thing shouted out. It'll read it out text to speech.
Yes.
Super cool. It'll grab our attention. Sometimes we don't see the chat. But it really, everything goes back into the show. We do not make a single dime. We pour into the show because we want to pour into you guys.
The goal is to build media here. Thank you for doing that. Thank you for helping support independent media. Really,
Thank you.
Really appreciate that.
Okay,
but go back to the video.
Let's go back to the video.
At the pump are also projected to go up 10 to 30 cents a gallon in the short term. That's the optimistic scenario. Now hold on. How does this benefit the U.S.? This benefits the U.S. because this hurts Iran. What hurts Iran hurts China because China buys a lot of Iranian oil. So from a sovereign powers perspective, right? So from the perspective of the United States, this is a strategic win because it makes China more dependent on U.S. oil. And if the U.S. can control the supplies of oil around the world, that is leverage. Now, obviously, U.S. oil companies will also benefit. ExxonMobil, Chevron, ConocoPhillips. Their costs will stay the same, but the price of what they're selling is going up. Every dollar increase in crude oil translates to higher profit margins for them, aka those companies make more money. But this also benefits the dollar, because oil is still priced in dollars. So when oil prices go up, global demand for dollars goes up with it. And we can even see that in the data when we look at the Dixie Index, which measures the strength of the dollar relative to other currencies. That is getting stronger. Some people argue this is a way of saving the global hegemon that is the dollar system. Now, if this theory sounds crazy to you, believe it or not, this was predicted on video by a Russian politician as early as 2013.
So what's their plan? They still need to occupy 7 more Arab countries, crush Syria, and destroy Iran with a military strike. America needs to weaken China. If Iran is struck, oil prices will soar to $200 per barrel. The Chinese economy won't be able to withstand that. And the European Union won't withstand it either. So, by striking Iran, America weakens both the EU and China.
So higher oil prices and flow controls benefits.
Really powerful footage there. Thank you for selecting this, Tim, because I lost that on Twitter. I bookmarked it and then I can't find
You
it.
just cut back to us for 30 seconds. We're going to chat a little bit about that point right there. That's super important. We are so focused on having so much power that we do not care what happens to our allies. Just
Right.
keep that in mind.
Oh, dude, the EU is the complete like redheaded stepchild that gets like beaten and thrown into the closet. Like,
Yeah,
that's how we treat
They're
them.
like, oh, you like this.
Yeah, literally.
You like this. Yes, yeah. Anyways, but
100%.
you know,
Well, just think about it. We blow up the Ukrainians. We blow up the Nord Stream pipeline. They can't get oil from Russia anymore. We've initiated this war of aggression on Iran. Now the Strait of Hormuz is closed. Where are they supposed to get their energy?
no, they're screwed.
Are they supposed to
They're
invent
screwed.
it?
I was talking to Simon about this the other day.
Okay, in the spaces?
In the spaces. Yeah.
Right.
I was talking to Simon. He was like, he was talking about this exact thing. He said Europe and the UK are cooked. He was like, with the energy crisis, they don't have a backup, right?
Yeah.
Like they would have to buy more expensive fuel from the oil from the United
Every-
States and all over the rest of the world.
Every now and again, I'll see these videos on X, and it's of like Europeans like demolishing their nuclear power plants, and they're like smiling about it. And like, this is so wonderful. This is so good for Germany. And they're like, well, yeah, that would be nice to have now, wouldn't it?
And it's just very interesting. How do you how do you lull an entire like several countries into just basically doing your bid no matter what?
I mean, we've talked about it during the deep dives that we've done on the global financial system and with the oil. Like they agreed to be like a vassal collection of nations, the EU, and to be subservient to us after World War II.
Yeah, they're like, just protect us, Father.
Just protect us. Let us have health.
Let us have
Let us have healthcare. Let us drink coffee all day.
We are
and wine all
tired of
day.
these wars. Just protect us. We just went through World War I and World War II, and you are Father. So just, it's like, come on now.
Well, it's
you got to
weird.
have a backbone.
It's weird because we're not the father. It's like, you know, it's like a destitute like parent that requires the child to take care of them.
Yes.
Ultimately, especially with the UK.
And you know what's even more wild? It's like, this is why I say the UN is, it doesn't work.
Complete bullshit.
It
does like, oh,
NATO.
Go into the building in New York.
Yeah, they go into the building in New York. Yeah. Some drastic situation happens, and like, you know, Europe is just sitting there like, guys, I think this is bad, but like, I don't want to piss them off. So like,
it's so crazy. And here's the thing: we criticize America a lot. Like literally, we should just do a deep dive on like just the continental metaphysical suicide of the EU and just all the countries involved in it. Like everything that they've done is like destroyed by design.
And they're so behind technologically now too.
Sure.
Because they have not relied on their own ability to actually produce.
They don't make anything.
Right?
Yeah, even less than us.
Yes, they make even
Way
less than us.
Actually.
The Italians are just like going and sunbasking in the sun on the coastal line, and you know they take their long lunch breaks and things like that. They're not interested in producing technology.
Things could get really bad here, but I think you're always going to be able to find food even if it's horrible, and I think you're always going to be able to find energy resources.
Yes.
Even in a depression style event, and it would be horrible and millions of people would die. I'm not saying that. Walking Dead over in Europe. Yes. Literally Walking Dead style scenario where it's a complete societal.
And I was in Germany twice this year. I mean, I've talked to the local people. It's bad.
What was that like?
Talk
about your trip to Germany a little bit.
So, you know, my job is I'd have to do, you know, mechanical engineering things. Yeah. And, you know, I'm bringing this giant piece of equipment into the site. And essentially, you know, I'm talking to the guy that we're importing from.
Sure.
I'm like, how's the housing situation here? He's like, awful. He's like, we pay as much as you guys for a house, if not more, and we make less. He was like, an engineer in America as an intern makes more than a professional that's been working for 5 years.
Yeah.
That is insane.
That is.
I was making more as a college intern doing a co-op where, you know, I'm getting paid probably like $20 an hour or something like that. I was making more than a professional engineer. That guy, he was like, I went to America because I was making more doing an internship there.
Do you want to show the debt clock?
Yeah, we can quickly show the debt clock.
Yeah, we'll show the debt clock because we found the actual ones. Let's see how much money we're paying in this whole situation. Destroy global energy markets, destroy global stability. Bring on World War III, and we got to pay for it too.
Oh, one other thing he did mention was the energy crisis. He was like, since they blew up the pipeline, he was like, my manufacturing costs have gone through the roof. He's like, it's unsustainable. I'm barely able to pay my people, and our government doesn't know what to do. We have a spineless government, is essentially what he was saying about Germany.
Sure.
And they're the top performers. They're supposed to be like the high echelon of
It's
Europe.
the heart of Europe, the
Yes.
manufacturing heart of Europe. And
They are doing the best, and they're
desolate.
not even doing that good. That's awful. Do you have that clock that I sent you on X, Wes? I don't know if
I think literally all they make in the UK is like Rolls Royce. I think that's like the only.
I talked to a UK guy earlier last year too, and he was saying the same thing. He's like, dude, that's why people just come to America. They're like, it's miserable. We're not making any money, and we pay just as much as you guys.
Wow.
They actually pay more.
Do you want to play out the clip?
Yeah, let's keep playing the video. Let's play some more of this video.
The dollar, the US corporations, and hurts adversaries like China and the European Union. And that was planned a long time ago. So that is the second theory. The third theory is that this is all to benefit the financial industrial complex, which are the real powers behind the people who got the president elected. So who am I talking about specifically? This is the big money donors. This is a list of Trump's top 20 donors. There's $635 million in total. Look at this as a map of every interest we just talked about. For example, number 1, Timothy Mellon, old banking and transportation dynasty, financial industrial complex. Number 2, Elon Musk, Tesla, SpaceX, Starlink, XAI. His companies hold billions and billions in Pentagon contracts, and his AI company just entered a program to build autonomous drone swarms for the military. That's the technological industrial complex and the military industrial complex in one person. There's number 3, Miriam Adelson. She has spent decades as the single biggest pro-Israel donor in American politics. She's been pushing for a regime change in Iran. That's $105 million towards the policy we just watched happen, right? Number 7, Ike Perlmutter, former chairman of Marvel, served on Trump's informal defense advisory council. There's number 9, Robert Bigelow, Bigelow Aerospace, Defense and Space, right? These are military industrial complex adjacent donors. There's number 10, Kelsey Warren, runs Energy Transfer Party.
Okay, so I just want to read Dogface's.
Yeah, imagine giving away 150 million. That's the thing. It's like these people, they live in a different universe.
Yeah, I was about to say 150 million for this guy is the drop in a bucket. Like, if you're a billionaire, you can afford this easily. And at the same time, $150 million, he's going to make more than that $150 million because of the favors and the policies that Trump and the administration will put in place.
Sure. You kind of look at this wall of most wanted. I mean, we got Lutnick on there, of course, Mr.
Oh, he's going to bring that up too. He's going to talk about him.
Okay, we'll play it out.
Go ahead and play it, Wes.
Howard Lutnick is my friend. Howard Lutnick.
Wes, you there?
Howard Lutnick.
Okay. One of the biggest oil and gas pipeline companies in the country. Higher oil prices from a Hormuz shutdown go straight to his bottom line. That's the oil interest, right? Number 15, Howard Lutnick, indirect ties to Cantor Fitzgerald, has huge interests in Tether and whose company allegedly bet against the tariff policy while advising the president on the same policies, right? He's now the Commerce Secretary. So number 16, Paul Singer, runs one of the most powerful hedge funds on earth. His fund's most recent public filings show hundreds of millions of dollars in defense and energy index funds, which all went up the moment the strikes started. So here we have tech, defense, right? Oil, finance, Israel, every interest group that is represented here. This is their return on investment, and this is only what we know publicly. Now, some people also believe this has all been prearranged, right? Like the deal was made a while ago, and what we're watching on TV and social media is all just theater. Now, if you assume for a moment that this is true, maybe it is, maybe it isn't, I don't know. But if it's true, then why bomb a whole country? If this was pre-negotiated, why just not do it peacefully? And the answer, from the military-industrial complex perspective, is that this operation was a live product demonstration. What does that mean? It means every weapon system just got used, right? B-2 bombers, Tomahawk cruise missiles, F-22s, F-35s. This has all been shown on every news network and social media in the world. You could not buy this kind of advertising. Every country watching this is now thinking about what they need to buy, either to do what America just did or to defend against it. That is worth hundreds of billions.
That's true.
That's the meat and potatoes, guys.
Yes.
You know what? He's saying these as theories like they're individual in their vacuum in a vacuum in themselves, but I think they overlap. I think there's a lot of things that are at play here.
It's all weapons testing, and I think we're going to see a lot more of that from the Chinese. Okay, because here's the thing, and the Russians too. It's been announced Zelensky has made an overture to Israel, and he's like, "Let's get you Ukrainian interceptors. Let's get in this. Let's get involved." And in response, we're seeing Russian components turn up on Iranian drones already. And I watched Colonel Lawrence Wilkerson talk about this. I believe it was the Intelligence Roundup on Dialogue Works on Nima Al-Kashid's channel. The waters in that area are apparently the most permissible to submarine warfare of anywhere in the region. Not the region, the planet.
Where?
In that area of water, that body of water. It's something about the salinity levels, the currents, how deep it is. I think we're going to see a lot more military action. I think it's going to happen.
Yeah, we've got subs out there.
It's going to. I don't think we're the only ones that have subs out there.
Well, we're sinking a lot of Iran's navy right now. Is the thing that's going on.
I think most of it's gone.
Yes and no. So the Iranian IRGC has a different type of navy than the other type of navy. There's two different types of navies essentially. There's the one that you see with the conventional like warships. And then Iran did this thing where they built like basically speedboats with missiles on them. Have you seen those?
No, I haven't seen that.
Okay. Maybe Wes, could you just quickly pull up a picture of that, of a Iranian like speedboat with missiles on it? I think you're going to find it. But basically they built a ton of these fast moving ships with missiles to basically counteract the typical warfare.
That speaks to the whole thing of like really what's being fought here in the Ukraine conflict and now in the Iran conflict is like, this is the new war. This is the new hybrid war. This is how it's fought. This is how it's done.
Drones and freaking speedboats.
Drones, cruise missiles, ballistic missiles, mobile launchers they can take out of a cave and put back into a cave, all this type of stuff. It's all being experimented on right now. Electronic warfare, jamming the Starlink, all of it. We're seeing it be tested in live time. It is a product demonstration.
It is a product demonstration. The first time that happened was Ukraine, right?
Yes.
Ukraine was the first level. But you know what the difference between Ukraine and Iran is? With Ukraine, there's still kind of a fear when it comes to Russia. Oh, this is the picture. Sorry. Go ahead and show this real quick.
Oh, that beauty right there. That's friendly.
Okay, so they built a ton of these. They like, I'm talking like,
thank you,
between
Wes.
500 and 5,000 is the estimate from what I understand, which it is a big number, but it is a lot of those. And so they have missiles that they can maneuver around. They're hard for like our battleships to hit, but they can sink, they can sink one of our ships with this.
And they can also really impede that global trade.
Yes.
Right. They can do all kinds of things.
Oh, that's only the surface. They have a ton of water mines too around that region,
of course,
and they can deploy those anywhere to basically blow up a bunch of ships.
Here, come back to us for a second. I feel like there's this prevailing thought in a lot of people where they look at Iran, they think it's like Iraq or Afghanistan. They're like, those are cave people. They wear turbans. They don't know nothing about no technology. Get away from that wheelbarrow, Leroy. You don't know anything about machinery. Stuff like that, right? That's an old quote. People get that reference. So at the end of the day, Iran's a country of 92 million people, and 92 million people, you got a lot of smart motherfuckers. And those Arabs, especially, those Persians, especially, that's where math came from. Literally.
Yeah. The only difference is they've been starved of the technology because of the sanctions.
Absolutely.
So they are operating on basically with like half a leg right now.
But it's like, Tony Stark built this in a cave with a bunch of scrap. It's that kind of energy. You know what I mean?
I think what they did is they got creative, right? They realized you have to. Once you have all these sanctions and you can't really build conventional weapons like your allies, your adversaries, they built a defensive game. They realized, well, we're never going to go out of our way to necessarily attack America, but we know one day they're going to come here. So like I was saying, you go look it up. They have a lot of missile systems and a lot of the weapons in these mountainous regions that align all along the southern coast there.
Sure.
And they can launch those at will. this is gonna get bad, guys. This isn't a joke anymore, and I think everybody understands that. But the last thing I want to talk about Ukraine
Sure. No,
was Russia has a fear factor to it. So America wasn't willing to send the same weapons or test the same weapons as they are right now because we're directly involved as well. Like we wouldn't let a Ukrainian, fly a F-22 Raptor.
Yeah. And then here's the thing: is like, let's not forget how close we've gotten to World War III with the Russians as well. I mean, blowing up part of their nuclear triad, doing all of that. The Ukrainians have been involved in operations that directly require our help. The thing about that you have to understand. The Russians don't want to mess with us. They have tried infinitely over and over again. Like, let's not turn this into this big thing.
100% right. And also, they're not supporting. Okay, so it's very interesting. Russia, China, and the Middle East, especially when you're talking about so Russia, China, Iran, those countries, Syria, I'll throw Syria in there too.
Sure.
They tried to form an alliance, right? And the alliance is stronger than what you would see probably with World War II, where the Germans, the Italians, and the Japanese. But you're really seeing that every single time the United States is going in and knocking out one of those allies one by one, and Russia's not stepping up to the plate. And it's because of that fear factor. Also, they're tied down. They're tied down.
They're tied down in Ukraine. Here's the thing. I made the point many times. Russians are winning that war. They're going to win that war eventually. It's just a numbers game. They're right there. They are a manufacturing superpower. Europeans are broke, and we're engaged in numerous conflicts.
Yes.
Like, it's not possible for the Ukrainians to win, and they're not going to. But on the flip side of that, it does make sense to fund it because it keeps the Russians out of the Middle East. It kept them out of Syria, for an example. They had to pull resources away from Syria and then look at the Al-Qaeda takeover.
Yes.
That's how we roll. That's what we do.
So you can see where the dominoes fall. We started with Venezuela because China and Russia were there.
Right.
We were like, okay, let's test that. Oh, they're not coming to help them, right?
Right.
We did it in Syria. Russia and China also didn't get involved with that. Now we're in Iran, and they're trying to play a specific role, but they're not. Russia's actually not getting involved. They're not sending specific weapons that they need themselves. And China, by the way, China does not rely on Iran that much, to be honest. Besides the Belt and Road Initiative that they're trying to do, I think only 1/10 of Chinese oil comes from Iran itself. They're very more so self-efficient. And also China needs the Saudis, needs the Gulf states too. So they're caught between a rock and a hard place because with Iran hating Israel and hating the Gulf states, but China's also intertwined with that. They're like, damn, we don't know what to do here.
Well, that's why everything's so complicated. Nothing's black and white. It's all a gray area because ultimately we sit here, we analyze the news, we talk about the documents and the information, the clips that come out. We're not heads of state. So the conversations that are really taking place, like there is a greater game that 100% for sure is being played.
Well, and one of the biggest game is transfer of wealth.
Sure.
This is another transfer of wealth from the poor to the rich.
Absolutely.
If you think about it.
That's what all this is about. I want to go ahead. Are we good with this video? Are we good with it?
Yeah, we can wrap that up.
I want to play Trump-Iran ultimatum. That is the first, actually, the link for it is under Iran war debt clock. That's a little bit confusing for you, Wes. So I want to apologize for that. I should have hit the enter one more time and got that link down on the second page. Yeah, it's right underneath Iran war debt clock. Beautiful. So this is what's going on. This happened today. This is the ultimatum to the Iranians from Donald J. Trump.
They ain't gonna stop. I haven't seen
Hell
this.
no.
I haven't seen it, but
they
I already know
put everything on the line. There is no negotiation.
You guys better stop. Go ahead.
And I'm once again calling on all members of the Iranian Revolutionary Guard, the military and the police to lay down their arms. They're only going to be killed. And now is the time to stand up for the Iranian people and help take back your country. You're going to have a chance after all these years to take back your country. Accept immunity. We'll give you immunity. And we'll be giving you really the right side of history because that's what it is. So you'll be perfectly safe with total immunity or you'll face absolutely guaranteed death. And I don't want to see that.
I had to laugh at that real quick.
You know who else we promised total immunity to? The translators in the collaborators we had in Afghanistan.
We're full of empty promises, dude.
You know what happened to those people? They fell off of planes as the planes left the airport.
And a lot of them were actually stuck in their and they got captured by the Taliban.
They got murdered.
They got murdered.
They got murdered immediately. I mean, it's just
you were so
work
right.
with us. We're going to. It's all going to work out.
Yeah, you guys just help us translate, and you got a free ticket to America.
Dude, I'm telling you, there's going to be like a younger version of Joe Biden that's going to run. Someone that's just friendly, and they're going to win because people are just like, "What the fuck is this?"
100%.
At this point. I'm not saying I agree with that, but like that's what's going to happen. Let's go to Gulf states move away from USA. This is a big deal. This is a text post. I'm going to read this out quick. We click on it so I can read it.
Yeah.
We're going to rapid fire some of this news for you real quick, and then we're going to go into the deep dive on Kristi Noem. Give me about 15 minutes here. Just in Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, Kuwait, and Qatar are discussing withdrawing from contracts with the U.S. and canceling future investment commitments to the U.S. to alleviate some of the economic strain imposed on them by the Iran war. Isn't that a great excuse? We know we promised you 10 trillion over 15 years. We ain't going to be able to do that no more.
Mm-hmm.
That's what this is. I won't read the whole thing, but the official said 3 of the 4 big Gulf economies, Saudi Arabia, UAE, Kuwait, and Qatar, have jointly discussed the strains being put on their budgets. They declined to name the states. A number of Gulf countries have begun an internal review to determine whether force majeure clauses can be invoked in current contracts, while also reviewing current and future investment commitments in order to alleviate some of the anticipated economic strain from the current war. That's a tongue twister, the official said, especially if the war and related expenses continue at the same place or at the same pace. It can't continue. The global economy is about to shut down.
Yeah, just
like
that
COVID,
one,
but worse.
Just that one passageway being shut down means they can't export their oil, and that's 90% of their revenue for the most part. And in Saudi Arabia has tried to diversify, but it's very hard to do that when you've done it for so many decades, and that's what people are used to. And all the industries have basically been propped up to support oil.
Absolutely. I'll read a bit more. We'll go to the next document. They added that the move was a precautionary measure that was the result of the budget strains these countries are facing due to the reduced income from energy, due to the slowdown in output or the inability to ship, like you're talking about. And from no more tourism, bombs going off, that Dubai.
No, Andrew Tate's like, I'm going back in there.
Everything is fine. Yeah.
He's like, you guys are scared. I'm going back in there.
And his Bugatti just blows up in the background.
He's actually right now, he got hit in the detention center in Saudi Arabia while he's trying to catch a bus into Dubai just to seem tough. Watch his little penthouse.
I have to go back. I must return. That's crazy. They're also big backers of sporting events around the world like UFC, forget that, and have been investing heavily domestically to develop their nations and diversify their economies. Matt, you're trying to be modern, you're trying to make money, you're trying to work with the U.S. Fucking war, dude. Wow. Okay, we're good on that. We go back to the Google Doc real quick.
Yeah.
We're good on that. That's massive news. Gulf states are going to move away from the USA. They need an end to this because they can't ship out their oil. We'll skip the Glenn Beck thing. That doesn't matter. We'll skip the TPUSA thing too. I want to play this. Sister of soldier killed speaks out. This is the real cost of war. And this is what everyone defending this conflict saying this. She doesn't get to see her brother anymore. Okay. And I would argue for no reason other than to preserve power interests.
20 years old in Kuwait.
Dead. He can't even drink, but he's old enough to die in the Middle East.
Go ahead and pull that clip up. Also, like I said, I guarantee you, when my boy gets back, I'm gonna ask him everything that happened. He might not even want to talk about it.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, a lot of
he was just a reservist that was just supposed to just go out there for his last tour, 9 months, and I'm sure he's got buddies of his that are dropping dead right now. He's in the Army.
I'll give this example really quick before we play the video. Here, cut back to me real quick. This will be real short. This will be 2 minutes. So I'm going to give this example of a story, and I've met a lot of people that are like, or have been very active in like deployment, have seen combat, special forces people, you name it. A lot of those people in the private security world. And I was talking to this guy, really good friend of mine, and he said, look, I was a Javelin missile operator, and there was a situation where we saw these guys down there, and we were like, hey, do we need to drive down there and just, put a couple bullets in their head and eliminate the problem? And they go, well, we do need them eliminated, but you're going to launch one of the missiles at them. So he said, look, I get it. We're at war. It's my job to kill people. I'm a soldier. At the end of the day, taking them out the conventional way would have cost about like 3 or 4 cents. Whereas we can spend millions of dollars to just kill people for no reason.
Yeah, it's cool.
And he's like, I don't like. It's not even efficient. It's the opposite of efficient. It's designed to be broken. War is a racket. It's to make money. That's why they do it. Nobody wants to kill each other. People want to go home to their fucking family.
Yeah, but Lockheed Martin is salivating that each missile needs to be replaced, guys.
That's right.
So they're like,
new contracts.
Must churn out more missiles.
Well,
I mean, even when I was working at GE Aerospace, and I was working on Black Hawk and Apache helicopter engines. So for us, by the way, I was there 2 years ago. So this was at the beginning of like a lot of the Israeli conflicts that were happening in Gaza, bro. They were churning out money. I mean, we were having conversations with the military to increase production on everything. Also, out of that site, and I worked with those people too. We do all of the F-16 and Raptor stuff, like a lot of the repairs and maintenance. And GE looks at that and they're just salivating, and it puts pressure on the people that are working there. But everybody knows that, like, oh, we're doing this for America. And you know what they do? I'll let you go back to your point. They come in there with the military guys, right? And the colonel goes up to you. You're in a conference room, and there's all these people here. He's like, "You are doing the Lord's work. We appreciate you guys. You guys are an extension of the military. The work that you do matters." And I'm like sitting there. I'm like, wait, so I'm like, what am I doing that I'm contributing? Oh, I'm contributing to missions that are killing people. Oh, makes perfect sense.
America.
And they basically give you a pat on the back and they say, you're doing a good job, soldier.
Exactly. Good job, soldier. Yeah, exactly. And here's the thing, like, we're all contributing to it. And that's why I think as civilians, as taxpayers, we have to speak up really more than anybody, because we're footing the bill, right, for all this. And they're spending $1 billion+ a day in this conflict. But let's look at the real cost of war, because this 20-year-old is never coming home. He's never seeing his family again, never seeing his friends, never getting married, never buying a car, never buying a house. He's dead now. And people will defend that online. Let's play the video.
I still don't fully think it's real. I didn't think it was real when they told us. Because I just remember all of our conversations about what he was going to do when he came back. And so I'll just be sitting and thinking about it. And then, it's really hard. And I didn't have like the same phone call like this weekend that my dad and like my brother did. And so I just really wish I got to tell him I love him one more time, because he was just so amazing.
And I wish I got to tell him I loved him one more time. And ultimately, when those caskets start coming home, when those bodies start coming home, when Americans start getting the call, and I don't want this to happen, God forbid it, may no more Americans die in this conflict. I'm not rooting for that at all. And both of us will make that very clear.
I just had a moment too. I just thought about it. And horrible. I sit there and I joke around Lockheed Martin and GE Aerospace and Raytheon, and like being in that industry. Let me gather my thoughts here.
No, you're all good. You're all good.
Being in that industry, you don't really realize where the end product goes.
Sure.
So for me,
it's all compartmentalized.
Yeah, it's all compartmentalized. So like, I can't even blame the person that's working at the plant or even some of the managers that are there, because you're so far removed from the conflict itself. Like when I go and I do an inspection on an engine, I'm not imagining that this piece of equipment is getting flown thousands of miles away to blow up a family inside of a hut.
Sure.
So it's like, you just go there and you just do your job. That's really the bigger picture here. And you're just told like, okay, we have an order, we need to do this thing. And you just look at it like any other factory. You don't think about, okay, this is a missile that's going out to like blow somebody up.
Sure.
And so like the only people that I can really throw complicitness to are the ones at the very top that, they're just looking at their numbers. And I even think that they don't even understand, because they don't have the missiles hitting their homes. They don't have their missiles hitting anyone near them, and they're so far removed. The only people that live through the experience itself are the soldiers and the people that are on the ground.
Imagine if we lived in a nation where you could feel good about that work, knowing that we were actually defending America.
This
is
that's
thing.
What they tell you. That's actually I got brainwashed now that I think about it. Like I haven't really thought.
We're all guilty.
I haven't really thought about this just till this moment, guys. Like for me, when I got hired on GE Aerospace and they told me what I was going to be working on, I'm like, this is the coolest job ever.
Sure.
Like I was like, this
Space
is
age.
sick. Yeah.
You like taking things apart and putting them together. It's heaven.
I wish I could post pictures for you guys to see some of the stuff. I've had a buddy of mine who actually was able to come with me, but it's super cool things. And
super,
they make it seem like you are doing like the most amazing thing possible, and then you just don't even realize it's associated with something so destructive.
True.
And like
it comes with territory of being an American, man, because we are so compartmentalized and so far away from all these other countries, where all these other countries, they have borders, they have wars, they fight, they die. For us, like really, you look at Afghanistan and Iraq, it's horrible, but at the end of the day, our deaths come from suicide. They don't come from overseas.
You're right.
You know?
Yeah.
Because our people have to deal with what they've had to do.
They have to deal with it. And there are military people on the civilian side. They come in there. They also just do their job. They're not also going out there. Like I watched our uniform guys come in all the time, and they basically are just designed there to like churn the wheel, make sure the money gets popped out, make sure that you get guys paid, make sure we have the equipment that we need. And it's just one big organism. I think, the person that has the most access to information would be the president himself. He gets to watch the most gruesome videos. How are these things not impacting him enough to stop these things?
I don't know. I think they just don't care. I think that like to get the job that you just don't care. Like, and that like that's we want a good president. We want to find someone we could actually get behind and vote for and support. But ultimately, they're like middle management, or not even middle management. They're the person that like runs the burger place, but the burger place has an owner, and the burger place is attached to a national chain.
I just wish humans weren't so flawed. Like we've been dealing with this for a millennia. Like humans just have a natural tendency to compete. Like if the United States were to step away from the Middle East and know that China and Russia weren't going to do anything, and there could be a possibility, but we're in this negative feedback loop where like no one's willing to give up the power.
No, I think that's what it takes, is just anti-interventionists saying like, hey, we got to step away from our role at the table. Like we're too drunk. It's like we got to leave the bar. Like we keep asking like, give me another one, man. It's like you have to get an Uber, you have to go home, you have to go to bed. You're going to get alcohol poisoning if you have one more drink, and you're going to go to the hospital.
Yeah.
That's what we are as a country. That's where we are. But I want to play, because it ties in everything we're talking about here. I want to play People Didn't Like the Military Because It Was Woke from Stephen Miller, because you sound like a woke liberal. Sound like a liberal.
I do sound like a liberal, don't I?
Our country.
I do sound like a liberal, don't I?
Fuck yeah.
I'm not sure what you mean, straight smoke. Tim, do you really believe that? Not sure what you mean. No, I mean everything.
Active chat tonight. Good.
Very active. No, but I'm gonna be.
Where are we at on the thing?
Let's see.
It's not bad.
Okay,
it's not bad.
Yeah. What were we gonna pull up?
People didn't like the military because it was woke.
Is this it?
Yeah. Go ahead and play this.
Yeah, go ahead and play that, Wes.
Tim's a liberal. Fuck yeah, bombs.
That some people in this country lost faith in the military and the capacity to use that military to defend us is because we had a woke Pentagon. Because we had a military who, at the very highest levels, not the warfighters, was forced to fight a less than full fight. What you're seeing now, Sean, is a military that is unleashed in all of its lethal prowess to go out and seek, destroy, and kill the enemy, which is what militaries are for.
So I think this is a Goldilocks example, right? Because you've often criticized Biden. You've gone like, hey, like I didn't feel like we were a strong nation. I didn't know what the fuck was going on. I didn't feel safe, right? Because he's weak. And I understand that, totally empathize. I felt the same way. With this, it's like, oh, the porridge is too cold. Now the porridge is burning us, right? Now it's just, we declare you the enemy. You will die for America.
Yeah, you will die.
Yeah, you'll die for America. And like that's cool. It's not woke anymore. It's like, well, you know what is kind of woke to me in like the bad way is death. And the death is continuing and the number is going up. And now it's Americans that are dying. And you know what? I care about other people around the world. Everyone's human. Everyone's made in the image of God. I believe that being an American citizen should be like being a Roman citizen, and that we should have special rights, and that we should be able to go to another country and feel safe anywhere around the world. And our government has taken that away from us. I'd love to travel. I'd love to go to Europe. I'd love to go to Africa. I'd love to go to Middle East, Asia, everywhere.
But a lot of it comes
I don't feel safe.
A lot of it comes down to greed, dude.
Sure.
At the end of the day, like, we have more than enough resources. And I might sound super flowery and white pill. This is a reality. We have enough resources. We have enough capability to allow there to be a baseline standard for everybody across the world. But the problem is competition, and it requires cooperation. But it's very hard to get different groups to cooperate when they have their own interest, as well as when you have a completely different background. The way a Chinese person grows up is completely different than the morals of an American. So how do you get these two groups to actually agree on something? Religion is also a very big thing. I mean, dude, we did a deep dive showing the difference between Sunni and Shia.
Sure.
And there was an entire conflict that lasted for thousands of years based off of a death where they didn't know who was supposed to come into power next, and people forgot the real reason why they're fighting. So, like, religion, it's one of those things that can either bring you together or it can divide you. And that is the hard part about society right now, is there's not enough people who are trying to be on the right side of history. And we got to stop putting our hands on the Bible. I'm sorry. When people go up there,
it is disrespectful.
When people go up there and they say, so help me God, I hope they would just get struck down.
They should spit on it, actually. It'd be a more accurate representation of their respect for the source material and what it represents.
Yes, man. Like, I think we need to divorce that, because you guys don't actually believe it's just a prop at that point.
Yeah, but Tim, you have to understand, we have to initiate biblical Armageddon in order to build the third temple and bring Jesus back. And that's literally, I played on the show that I did last night. I showed this complaint, and there's some like military religious board or whatever, some like 501c3 organization that's like a civil rights thing. And I believe the number is like 8 soldiers, or like a big group of people have reported that they're getting reports from their commanders that, like, you were fighting a biblical war for Armageddon to bring Jesus back.
Yeah.
I promise.
They
I showed it last
use
night.
a lot of these people. There are people that are wolves in sheep's clothing, guys.
And that's biblical. That's literally biblical.
They will use the aspect of religion to galvanize you to follow a command, because they know your faith is so strong in that creator and you just want to do right by God.
Yeah,
that's what they do. They play on that fear of God, and they make you go and do things that you wouldn't normally do.
Sure, and that's one half of the equation. So what they do, and I'll give an example. Trump doing the thing talking about, and they make all the IEDs, the Iranians, all the Americans murdered by IEDs. That's why we had to go in. That's why we had to do it. They take a genuine emotion you have of like I'm not saying positive in the sense of it's positive or responsible. Like you have a human reaction to something where you're like, I'm morally outraged about this. This is wrong. We have to do something about this. And they marry that to a parasitic attitude of, we're going to kill everybody responsible. Anybody we kill is somebody that was responsible. Anyone that we kill is the person that's guilty of the crime because a crime happened. That's not how it works.
Yes.
You don't get to just carpet bomb indiscriminate.
I mean, we've been doing that for forever.
Sure.
You see it in the Vietnam War. They were going out there and they said, these are just bomb designated areas.
2.5 million people poisoned with Agent Orange.
Yes. They said in Vietnam, I'll clarify this a little bit, not going to take too long. In Vietnam, they designated areas because the North Vietnamese were in pretty much ingrained within the forest and these countrysides, and it was very hard for them to distinguish who was supposed to be a Viet Cong, which is a derogatory word, but that's the way I'll describe it.
North
Vietnamese versus just a civilian. So what they said was, well, these are regions that are where all the enemy is at, right? And you can just kill anything that you see and destroy it. And the soldiers just blindly followed because they thought, well, someone had to clearly, say that, these are enemies, and they verified it, right? They just trusted it.
We got to do a mini deep dive next Thursday. Let's do this. We got to talk about Operation Linebacker. I had a caller call in and talk to me about Operation Linebacker, which was Nixon doing what you're talking about, just blowing up stuff because they were going to blow up.
I mean, I could do it on Sunday too, if you want.
Beautiful.
I could do a deep dive on
it. Might be a shorter topic.
Okay.
We'll figure it out. I think that's good coverage of kind of what's going on, our commentary on the war situation right now. Talk Kristi Noem.
Yes, let's talk about her.
Kristi Noem.
Can we let's play my YouTube video first to kind of open us up to this.
Which video is that? Is that the second one from the top? Kristi Noem fired. You're fired. You scum. Here's the thing. You killed your dog. I let you have the job anyway. You spent $200 million on an ad. Fuck you.
Yeah, play the reason Kristi got fired.
Okay, the third one.
Yeah, the third. Yeah. Third video, third YouTube video, sorry. We'll play that. That'll no, the one right below it. I'll highlight it. We'll play that. That'll kind of clarify. This is the moment she probably got fired. I'll also explain a little bit behind why she got fired and what she was kind of at Congress for. But yeah, we'll go ahead and wait for him to pull that clip up. Give me 1 second here, guys.
I love America.
How do you square that concern for waste, which I share, with the fact that you have spent $220 million running television advertisements that feature you prominently?
Sir, the president tasked me with getting the message out to the country and to other countries where we were seeing the invasion come from, with putting commercials out that told them that if they were in this country illegally, that they needed to leave, or we would detain them and remove them, and they'd not get the chance to come back to America the right way. That has been extremely effective.
Ask you to run these advertisements, is that right?
We had that conversation, yes, before I was put in this position and sworn in and confirmed, and since then as well.
Okay. Did you bid out those service contracts?
Yes, they did. They went out to a competitive bid, and career officials at the department chose who would do those advertising commercials.
And the people that you ended up picking were people who had formerly done your political work back in South Dakota. Is that right?
No, that's not correct, sir.
I think it is.
No, it's not, sir. The individuals who, I believe the careers who they chose were two different media firms. There's been conversation about their subcontractors, but we have no legal authority to look into subcontractors on work like that.
Pause it.
Okay.
She's shaking. Dude.
We don't have the legal authority to look into how we scammed all the money out of it. So shut up. But there's a big investigation taking place. Here's the thing. She was chosen because boomers and Gen X men who subscribe to OnlyFans, too many OnlyFans accounts, thought that she was attractive. All right, Trump's like,
she got it, though. She got that thing on her.
Your face is kind of, why don't we make you the Department of Homeland Security?
You remind me of my good old days.
You remind me of the 13th prostitute.
Yeah, why don't you be a good old girl and be Secretary of Homeland? You know,
man. But here's the thing: it's like these people were not chosen on merit; they were chosen because they would comply with the grift.
Yes,
that's 100%. That's what it all is.
100%. And by the way, the video we're playing, this is like the moment that definitely got her fired. By the way,
let's watch Kristi Noem fired part 1. I assume that's a follow up to this.
That's like the news portion explaining. Yeah, go ahead. You can play that. In the meantime, I'm gonna briefly explain.
No, go ahead.
I guess so in I didn't know she had another hearing in December 11th of 2025. News just happens so often. But basically, Noem was testifying before the House Homeland Security Committee, and she got grilled over the DHS's enforcement tactics. And then she basically left early, saying that she had to attend a FEMA review council. And then it turned out the FEMA review that she was saying she had to go to got canceled, which poured gas on the fire. But basically, they were just kind of what they were pressing her about was like her aggressive immigration enforcement and alleged wrongful detentions that happened with the ICE situation, high-profile deportation cases, and the due processes that weren't happening during that, and the criticisms, and then also the FEMA reform and the direction and the delays that came with that. So, I mean, the Democrats were basically like, hey, we got to get rid of this. And so now we're in March 2026, and now there's the oversight committee, and she's testifying, right? And you can go ahead and play this video real quick, and we can kind of show what's going on here.
And really quick from Moshmiri, does anyone find the term Homeland Security sounds really creepy in 1984? Absolutely. Absolutely, totally agree.
Department of War.
We are following breaking news out of Washington. You just heard from Major Garrett there. President Trump has removed Kristi Noem as Secretary of the Department of Homeland Security. Noem has spent the past 2 days on Capitol Hill as she has faced growing backlash over her job and handling of the Department of Homeland Security and particularly Operation Metro Surge in Minneapolis. The president announced she would be transitioning to a new position, given the title Special Envoy for the Shield of Americas, which will apparently head up a new security initiative focusing on the Western Hemisphere that the president will give more information on this weekend. We should mention that Secretary Noem is delivering the keynote address at the Sergeant Benevolent Association Major Cities Conference. In a post on Truth Social, the president thanked Noem for her time leading DHS and announced he is nominating Oklahoma's Republican Senator Mark Wayne Mullen as the next DHS secretary. So let's bring back Nancy Cortez, CBS News chief White House correspondent. And Nancy, you were talking about this with Major, but let's go ahead and go into a little bit more detail here about really maybe what was the straw on the camel's back, and that was in one of the days of testimony, Republican Senator John Kennedy of Louisiana asking Noem, how do you square cuts to DHS and contracts with the fact that you have spent $220 million running TV advertisements that feature you prominently in it?
Was it?
Noem replied.
So yeah, that's the video that was the video that we saw. And we'll get right into your content. I just want to cover a little bit more about this. So there's several things and other scandals that fed into her hearing. So one, I didn't know about this, but her daughter had a license controversy at the state level. South Dakota lawmakers basically approved a report finding Noem's daughter got preferential treatment in a real estate appraisal's licensing process, which is like way beyond the usual process. And this became a big ethics thing. So it's like they're having like, does the government power have the ability to help family? Which of course, no, that shouldn't be a thing, but we know it happens. The travel and security spending, AP News had analyzed the travel records and found that South Dakota covered over $640,000 in travel-related costs during her governorship, and more than $150,000 expenses tied to her political/personal activity rather than clear state business. And most of the security costs were just traveling with her. Dude, what? It's just a blank checkbook.
Well, that's how they all treat the system, and that's why your point about them swearing on the Bible and that being messed up, I totally agree with that.
Yes. Okay, well, you want to get into some of your stuff here?
Man, you know what? I think that's been good.
Okay.
I think that's been good. We promised 90 minute, went a little over that already.
Yeah,
Switchers
totally
are working really hard on the show.
Yeah, we appreciate you guys joining us tonight.
Yes, we do.
I'm sure there are new guys in here. We appreciate the support that we got yesterday. That was a really fun segment for us. I'm gonna read a couple of comments before we get offline here because we got to show some people some love. Okay, so it says Infowars/Alex
is the reason I didn't get the clot shot. Saved my life. I believe Rex and Tim are the future.
Hey,
thank you so much.
Thank you,
man.
Cav.
Very kind.
I was not so fortunate, as you guys have watched.
Keep going.
I got the shot.
From T Blatt, isn't she the one that just got the luxury jet? Was she doing the activities?
they were criticizing her. He's like, why didn't you get a regular jet to transport people? She's like, well, we kind of needed the special one with the bed because it's just a very important matter.
This is why I'm rooting for Patel, okay? Because Patel's like, okay, I'm gonna grift whatever. I'm gonna go to the Olympics, pretty cool, and I'm gonna hang out. He's not spending $200 million on TV ads. Okay, so shout out to Cash. Actually, kind of a W from Cash Patel. He's maneuvering around.
Yeah.
It's called enrichment from Straight Smoke from Samantha. But then there's the argument that that's stooping to your enemy's level. Not sure what that's responding to. And then we got Chuck. Homeland Security is probably too busy spying on right wingers. LOL. From Roger, in politics, you often set everyone up. Yeah, you often set everyone up you can for leverage or get rid of them when you don't need them anymore, especially if a replacement can do what she can't.
Yeah,
for sure.
You're right. We always talk about it. It's like basically everyone's getting the Bongino treatment. If you're not able to keep your shit together,
We're gonna
they're gonna get rid of
in the media. You're gonna be a Fox News contributor real soon.
Which is crazy. They just repositioned her. She'll still make some money. They're like, yeah, you're getting too much heat. You know what's crazy? Trump said he had nothing. He didn't know about it. How much do you bet he knew about it?
Yeah.
There's no shot that he didn't know about it. He was like, yeah, just do it. Don't get caught. And then she got caught.
You scroll up a bit.
Yeah.
You love the homeland. You love America. You love military police on the streets. Fuck yeah. Roll Tide. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.
All right, it's fun. I got relatives that sound like that too, so I can do that. I'm not being offensive, not making fun of anybody.
The whole cabinet is Barbies and frat boys.
Yeah. Barbie is demonic. Border Barbie. Come on, man. That's a good one from Damon. Oh man.
Imagine it took 200 mil to buy off the countries and let them play the ad. We were talking about stuff earlier, but yeah, I think if we go too far up, we're gonna forget where we're at. But we appreciate you guys for joining us tonight. Thank you for the super chatter.
Yes.
I forget the name already, but we really appreciate that. That goes right back into the show.
Yes.
If you guys do want to support us as well, you can go ahead and hit the like, hit the subscribe. I'm sure a lot of you guys are subscribed already.
This is the big thing. Okay, Gray Area Talks on X is about to hit 2K. And
that's a big thing.
If we can get just 5 people to go over there and follow Gray Area Talks, follow Truism Tim on X, and follow me on X if you haven't already. But really, if you want to see more clips of us, you want to see more of us hanging out, if you want to give us comments, give us feedback, we read everything you say. YouTube, Rumble, Twitter, Gray Area Talks, all the same name.
Yes. And we're hoping to do even more InfoWars segments. You guys should be able to see us more on the network. We're trying to set something up for Monday. Harrison's going to be here on Sunday.
Yes.
He's going to be in our backyard. And then I think we're trying to line something up for Monday to be on the War Room. You guys can catch us then as well.
And Owen next Thursday.
Owen next Thursday. Yeah, I know. Groiper asked that earlier. He scheduling mix up.
I think I told you that it was this and then it's the next week. That's my bad.
Totally fine. It's good to space people out. So we'll have Owen next Thursday, but we really appreciate you guys. We're going to be back on Sunday, deep dive. I'm still debating. Hey, if you guys have any topics that you guys want to talk about specifically, it's been a minute since you guys have given some suggestions.
It's good to get a viewer one.
Yeah, let's throw some stuff in the. If you're watching this, just leave a comment on the video here.
Yes.
Okay, and I'll check that out after the show. And I'll be working on the deep dive tomorrow. So
very cool. Thank you all for being here with us tonight. Another phenomenal show in the books. The Gray Area marches on and continues.
Thank you guys. Peace. Take us offline, Wes.
America pride.
Modern life has left us out of balance. Long ago it was once said,